I've sent millions of cold emails over the past 2 years, and month after month, year after year, it's what we've used to generate hundreds of thousands of dollars for our clients and consistently fill up their calendar. And in this video, I'll break down the exact 3-step deliverability blueprint that we use that keeps us landing in the inbox and not in the spam filter. And make sure you stick around till the end of the video because step number 2 is easily the most important step. Let's get right into it. Okay, so welcome to the essential cold email playbook for high deliverability. The first step that we're going to talk about is the infrastructure. Now, this has literally helped my client book calls month after month, year after year. So you can see these clients, this one client that we have, they closed their first deal with us August 3rd, 2023. And then again, I fast forwarded to now 2025 and they're still closing deals. So you can see how with this infrastructure step, if you set it up correctly, you'll consistently be able to close deals month after month, year after year, just like how they have been doing it. So what exactly is the infrastructure? So when I mean infrastructure, I mean the actual setup, how you set up your cold emails itself. And so when it comes to the setup philosophy, you never want to send cold emails from your main domain. Instead, you want to purchase subdomains that match your main website. So the reason you want to never send emails from your main domain is because if you send a high volume of cold emails from that main domain, and if any of them, or like a few, get marked as spam, it can literally damage your entire website's reputation. And so imagine if you have a company website and you've used it for years and years and years, and your domain has been around for years and years and years, and you send emails from your main domain, and just a few, like let's say 5 out of 100 or 10 out of 100 get marked as spam, your main domain could be destroyed. And so you do not want to do this. It's also important to use multiple email providers. So as of July 2025, a good balance that we found is 70% Google and 30% Outlook. Outlook is still kind of iffy for us, but Google is king. And so you don't want to rely on just one provider. You don't want to just rely on Google or just rely on Microsoft. You want to have all your eggs in multiple baskets instead of just one, just like how I've showed you here. You want to be in multiple baskets and not just one basket. So here's how you actually do this infrastructure step. So I want you to go to porkbun.com. You can all use GoDaddy or Namecheap, whatever, but Porkbun for us is what we use. And go there and buy subdomains of your main domain. So for example, if your main domain is Nike.com, you're sending out outreach messages from Nike.com, it can become getNike.com, trynike.com, acquirenike.com, etc. You want to buy 10 domains and 2 email accounts each per domain. And if you have this set up, you'll be able to send around 10,000 emails every single month, right? This is a great place to start. And this is what I recommend to all beginners when they're first starting with cold email. And so you can use any of these prefixes or suffixes for your domain. And like I said, if it's like Nike.com, you can do appnike.com, nownike.com, labsnike.com, whatever it may be. Just use this image and it should work out very fine. Now, after you bought those domains and after you set up those email accounts for those domains, you want to now warm it up for 2 weeks, right? So you can use Smart Lead or Instantly to do a warm up, and they both have built-in warm up in their software itself. So all you really need to do is just connect your email accounts to Smart Lead or Instantly, click warm up, and you should be fine. But during this time, you don't want to actually send out any cold emails. Just let the accounts properly warm up so that they're ready to use without any issues. So think of it kind of like stretching before your main workout. This is a warm-up. You don't want to immediately just buy your account, send out thousands of emails every single day. That's gonna make you appear robotic and automated, right? And so the goal of this entire automated outbound cold email is to appear as close to as a human as possible. The way I want you to frame this when it comes to deliverability is, would a human do this? You have to mimic human behavior. That is the biggest step when it comes to, or the biggest mindset you should have when it comes to deliverability. Would a human do this? Mimic human behavior. And so imagine you're a human and you bought a new email account. Would you instantly start sending out 50 messages a day to strangers you've never connected with on a different domain? Probably not, right? And so this is the reason why you want to warm it up for 2 weeks. If you don't do this, Google and Microsoft will be like, okay, this guy is not mimicking human behavior. He's probably not a human. I'm going to ban him. And so connect it to Smart Lead, connect it instantly, warm it up for 2 weeks, and you should be good. And again, this is, I kind of go over this here. You have to mimic human behavior. No real person creates a new email account and immediately starts blasting out images. That's not normal human behavior. So let your email accounts warm up for 2 weeks and you'll build trust with your email providers. So pillar number 1, summary. Never want to send cold emails from your main domain. You want to use subdomains to protect your sender reputation so that your main website doesn't go down. You want to use a mix of email providers. I recommend, again, 70% Google, 30% Outlook. I set up 10 domains with 2 email accounts each to scale outreach. And then you want to warm up all your email accounts for 2 weeks with a tool like SmartLead before sending any emails out to avoid being flagged as spam. If you can do this, you've won half the battle. That's it. Just sending from subdomains and having your eggs in multiple baskets will put you ahead of most people. So please do this. Now, if you want this full guide, this like full presentation I have for you so that you can go through it and read it and implement it step by step, and also other guides that I have, join the school community I have in the link in the description. It's free. I'm not going to charge you for it. But there's a lot of other free guides that I have in there, such as 5 cold email scripts to book your calls instantly, another bulletproof checklist to avoid spam, 4 cold email CTAs. All of these guides are, by the way, plug and play. So you can just take these CTAs, you can take these scripts, and you should be fine. So pillar number 2 is the email copy. And like I mentioned in the beginning, this is a very, very, very crucial step. This is a very crucial step. So this step has, again, helped our clients close deals year after year. Look, July 23rd, 2023 closed. And then, where is this? February 14th of this year closed. Same guy, right? And so if you can do the step, you will close more deals. Okay. So when it comes to cold email copy, this part of the guide will be the most detailed because we're diving into a lot more advanced strategies. Once you've set it up correctly and once you've automated it that way, it should be fine. But this part will go very much in depth and detail because your cold email copy plays a big role in whether or not your emails land in spam. It's kind of like texting a friend, right? Short and natural works, but if you write like a school essay, like if you send your friend like an entire essay, they're just gonna ignore it. They'll be like, "What the hell is this, dude? I'm not reading all this," right? Again, the goal is to mimic human behavior. I'm going to keep saying this. You want to mimic human behavior, mimic human behavior, mimic human behavior. I'm keep saying this because that's the entire mindset and philosophy you should have when it comes to deliverability. And so with the copy, here's like a brief overview of everything. You want to keep it short and conversational. You want to make it sound like a real person actually wrote it. You want to include an opt-out message so that people can easily unsubscribe. You want to make sure your message is relevant to the person that you're actually emailing. And you do not want to send the email over and over again because email providers will notice this and start flagging your messages. You're going to use spin tags instead, which I'll get to at the end. But this is like a brief overview of everything. So when it comes to the breakdown of this, the main reason why cold emails land in spam is because they don't look like real human emails. Once you have the infrastructure dialed, the main reason why your emails land in spam is because they don't look like real human emails. So your email copy plays a big role in fixing this. And again, mimic human behavior while also automating sending out thousands of messages a day. So number 1, you're going to be relevant. And what I mean by relevance is you want to make sure you're sending the right message to the right person. And all of this comes down to just good targeting and strong market research. If you don't, it's like trying to sell headphones to someone who's deaf. It's completely pointless. So what I mean is you do not want to be sending irrelevant emails. Like if you're sending out stuff about Facebook ads to, let's say, the HR person, that is a horrible, horrible, horrible email because it's not relevant to them at all. Your offer doesn't even make sense to them. Why would an HR person need to know about Facebook ads? It doesn't matter. Instead, you should be emailing the CMO, marketing director, VP of marketing, whatever it may be. But you want to make sure whoever you're targeting, whoever it is, that they are the right person to receive the right message and you understand their pain points and their desires. If you're targeting, let's say, if you're targeting lawyers, let's say, and lawyers, a lot of them, they get their clients with billboards and SEO, right? And so if you're talking about, I don't know, if you're talking about, hey, we'll help you get clients, if you tell the lawyer, hey, we'll help you get new clients without using billboards or without using SEO, then you will be speaking their exact desires and exact pain points because you understand how they get clients and understand what the pain it is of using those two methods. And if you break it down to the point of like, okay, look, I understand you use billboards and SEO to get new clients. I can help you get new clients without using those two. They'll be interested because they'll be like, okay, wow, I've never heard this before, and he knows exactly how I get new clients. Next thing is you want to include an opt-out message, right? If you just instead of an unsubscribe link, which you don't want to have any links in your cold emails, by the way, and I'll go over that later. But instead of an unsubscribe link, just add a simple line at the end, like PS. If you're not interested, just say no thanks. Again, you want to give the people the chance to opt out, because sometimes what will end up happening is you'll cold email someone and they'll see the first message and they're not interested, but you don't have an opt-out message at the end, right? And when you send them a cold email, they'll read your message and they'll just be like, okay, well, this is a cold email, but I don't feel like replying no, so I'm just gonna go to the next one, right? And then you email them again, and then again they're not interested, and you're gonna keep sending them emails because, but mentally in their head they're already not interested, and it's gonna get to the point where you're going to keep emailing them over and over and over again, but mentally in their head, they're not interested. And by the third or fourth time you email them, they'll be like, okay, this guy is not stopping emailing me. I'm just going to put him in spam. And that's the sad truth. That's the sad reality. So to stop that from happening and to stop your cold emails from actually going to spam, make sure you have an opt-out message at the end. Like just at the bottom of your email, you can be like, PS, if you're not interested, just say no thanks. Short, simple, and they can easily say no. Now, we're going to keep going here. When it comes to more copy breakdown, you have to use spin tags. So you can think of spin tags like using different colors to fill in the same picture. It changes small parts of your message each time, so it doesn't look like you're sending the same email over and over and over again. And so instead of, let's say, for example, instead of saying, hey, you can also say hi and hello, right? And what you can do in your cold emails is basically put spin tags in there so that it says hey, hi, hello every single time to each different person, and they'll keep rotating over and over again. And not only can you do this for the greeting, you can do this for the outro, you can also do this for the body. You can spin tags the whole email, which I highly recommend, and it'll be able to change the whole body so it'll look like you're sending a different message to different people every single time. Then you also want to keep it short and conversational. Again, I said this earlier, but I want to say this again. You want to write at a 7th grade reading level or lower, and keep it under 75 words because people have short attention spans. Again, I get cold emails all the time, and now that I'm building a personal brand, I understand why people don't reply to cold emails because it's like a huge wall of text, and you're just sitting there like, I'm not gonna read this shit straight up, and it's really, really annoying when you get those long emails like that. So you do not want to send this entire long wall of text. You want to keep it short, conversational, and you want to keep it very, very brief, right? Now, if you just do this, you'll solve a good chunk of your deliverability issues besides the infrastructure part. If you just do this, you'll solve a lot of it. So please implement all of this. And I'm going to show you how you can implement all this. So keeping it simple and how to make your cold emails short and simple, you basically, and let me get a sip of water. You basically want to, you basically want to pull up ChatGPT. So you want to write your cold email script. You want to pull up ChatGPT and then tell it, hey, can you rewrite this email at a 5th grade reading level or 7th grade reading level and make it under 75 words while keeping the overall format of the message the same, right? Then once you get your email from GPT, you want to take a look at it and you want to actually read it out loud, like actually, and ask yourself, does this sound like a robot or does this sound like a human? If it sounds like a robot, you have to rewrite it so it sounds human. But if it sounds like human, you should be fine. So take your script, put it in GPT, take it out, read it out loud, and then adjust if you need to. Then when it comes to spin tags, again, I told you guys we're going deep in this. When it comes to spin tags, again, this is how you can use it on Smart Lead, and Instantly has a little bit of a different variant, but this can also work. But this is how you use it on Smart Lead to make sure you're saying the same thing, but just in a different way. So, like I said, you're going to have to say hi or hello in the greeting of the email, right? Well, you can spin text that. Hello, hi, hey. Every single time. Hello, hi, hey. And you can do that for the entirety of the email. again, you do not want to be sending the same message over and over again at scale. So you want to use AI to help you out with spin tags, and use this prompt below to help you with spin tags. So pretty much it's like, hey, please add spin tags to this email, and then you're going to put your email, and then you're going to give it a reasoning as to why spin tags is important. And then it should just output you the spin tags email. That's how you do it. And it's super simple. Like, just do that every single time. When it comes to targeting, again, this is very relevant because if if you are sending the right message to the right person, you will not be marked as spam. I cannot tell you how many times in the beginning we sent out bad emails to the wrong person, or like what we thought was a really good offer to the wrong person, and they ended up replying like, "Hey, this is not relevant to me. I'm marking this as spam." This has happened to us multiple times in the beginning. So if you can get this right with targeting, you will be good. To write a relevant email, you need to clearly define who it is you're targeting, right? If you can do this, you can tie your offer into their pain points and desires, making the email itself very relevant to them. So you want to get specific in terms of job titles, industry, employee headcount, technology use, and location. This will be good enough to get you started. So for example, for all of this, it could be like CMOs of insurance companies using Salesforce in the US. Not bad, right? This is good enough to get you started. And then from here, what you want to do is, again, go into their pain points, do market research, which I'll show you how to do right here. So copy and paste this inside of GPT. Shout out to Christian Placienza for this. But copy and paste this inside GPT. And again, if you can make your email relevant to their pains and desires, it will be relevant to them and it will not be marked as spam. And you want to give it this entire thing, right? Again, just use this. And once you put it in, and once you fill everything in here, it'll give you an entire thing like this, where it'll give you, hey, okay, what are some benefits they have? What are some pain points that they have? What pain points do they have that is relevant to what we want to offer? What is some unique advantages? What specific end result would they want from your offer? For relevance itself, I'd really stick to number 2. Use number 2 as pretty much your ammo for the pain points and making it relevant in the email. So take this prompt, put everything in there that you need to do, and then from there you can just throw it in GPT and help you write relevant emails. Again, it's super important you do this because you want to be able to speak to their pain points and their desires. Then the unsubscribe line, right? Again, you don't want to include an actual link, but you still want to give the people the opportunity to opt out. So just include a small line at the end like this below. So don't mind this entire email. This is like a fake thing we did for a client, but pretty much you said the whole email. And by the way, this is what spin tags looks like, where it's like open to learning more, interested in learning more, and hi, hello, first name. But at the end, you want to put like PS, just say no thanks, and I'll leave you alone. Pretty simple, right? Just put the whole email and just put a PS at the end. So that was the very, very long copy part, but here's a quick summary. Write like a human, keep your emails short, conversational, and relevant, aim for 5th to 7th grade reading level and under 75 words. You want to avoid robotic or formal language. Personalize and vary your message. Use spin tags and good targeting to make sure each email is unique and relevant to the prospect. Include a soft opt-out. Just add a simple line like, hey, if you're not interested, just let me know, and just give them a chance to opt out. That is summary. Now, this is the bonus step that I wanted to include in here, because, again, most people, for some reason, skip this step, even though it's so obvious, it's so simple with cold email. So, sequences. You do not want to send no more than 2 follow-ups, because this helps you avoid getting flagged as spam and keeps the deliverability high. Sending too many follow-ups can annoy the prospect and hurt your reputation, right? It's kind of like knocking on a door. Like if you're doing door-to-door, if they don't answer after like the third set of knocks, banging on it won't help. It'll just annoy them. If somebody hasn't replied to your cold email after, let's say, 3 emails total, like two follow-ups, that's a clear tell sign that they're not interested. And so you just want to stop it. You're just like, okay, I'm done. And just stop. Because after the 3rd one, they'll be like, okay, why is this guy still emailing me? I haven't responded. Why? Like, what is the point of all this? And so keep it to just 3 sequences total, 2 follow-ups. In the past, this used to actually work where you could do like 5 to 7 follow-ups over like several months, but now spam filters are stricter, and if a few just get marked as spam, your entire domain and your website or your entire domain and email goes to spam. Again, think about it. If you if someone keeps following up and you're not interested, by the fourth or fifth email, you'd probably mark them as spam, right? That's why you want to keep it short. No more than 2 follow-ups helps you protect your deliverability. Next, so okay, how you actually do this inside of Smart Lead and Instantly is pretty straightforward. You just want to put like 2 follow-ups like this. Again, Smart Lead and Instantly are pretty similar, and so you can just do this and you should be fine. 2 follow-ups only. So next is verification. And again, this baffles me that people don't do this, but only 50 to 60% of the leads from Apollo or other databases are actually valid. This is why you have to verify your leads before sending out any emails, right? If you skip this step, your emails will bounce and your messages will start landing in spam. Do not do this. Please do not do this. It's kind of like dialing a bunch of phone numbers without checking if they work. Most of them won't connect and you'll just waste your time. So do not want to do this because if you send the invalid emails, you'll land in spam, and you'll also be wasting time because you're sending the invalid emails. So don't do this. Verify your leads. And the way you do this is you want to use Million Verifier, debounce, and buy some credits. Just upload your lead list on there, and after about 15 minutes to an hour, it should be done cleaning, and you just want to download the deliverable emails. That's it. So pretty much the whole workflow should be pulling your lead list off of Apollo, Outscraper, whatever it may be, putting it into debounce, cleaning it, and you should be fine. So the entire summary of this video and how we've been able to book calls month after month, year after year is pretty simple. Infrastructure setup, use subdomains, mix Google Outlook, warm them up for 2 weeks, should be fine there. For email copy, mimic human behavior, keep it short, keep it relevant, use spin tags, always include a opt-out at the end of your email. And then finally, clean and respectful outreach. Verify every single lead before sending out, and you want to limit follow-up to just 2 emails. So ladies and gentlemen, that is the entire bulletproof summary checklist of how to not land in spam. And if you are a business and you want someone to do all of this for you and handle all of this email stuff for you, click the link below and we can see if we're a good fit for us to help you out with all of this. Here's some of our case studies for our clients. We helped Deepak generate $270,000 in 8 months. We helped First Org Digital book 60 meetings, close 10 new deals. We helped Drew book 15 meetings, close multiple deals. We helped Matthias book 25 meetings, close 3 deals, and much, much more. So if you are interested and you want someone to do this all for you and book anywhere between 10 to 20 calls every single month, click the link below and we can see if we're a good fit to chat. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.